Democrat campaign promises have become bad policy, and the Biden-Harris administration own the current humanitarian crisis at the U.S.-Mexico border. According to reports, large migrant groups are crossing the border into Texas, 24,000 in just 2 weeks, and another 13,000 unaccompanied minors have been in Border Patrol custody. But Biden's DHS secretary is on record saying, if foreign parents send their children to the border, we will care for them. Who's we? And with whose money, I wonder? I'm David Fiorazzo, and this is Christ and Culture. If we love our neighbors, the Christian thing to do is to help them, to care for orphans, widows, and those in need. But we are a nation with laws and a constitution, and we cannot be sustained with the overwhelming numbers of people pouring into America. Over 3,800 migrants are being held at just one facility in Donna, Texas, which is approximately 1,550% over its capacity of 250. Now, at some point, our government has the responsibility to follow the law, care for its own citizens first, not waste our money, and protect our national borders. The Biden administration, however, is spending $86 million in taxpayer money to house migrants in hotels, planning to lodge migrants for 6 months, but according to reports, that could be extended and expanded. Add to this amount meals, transportation, healthcare, and education, and we can see why so many American citizens are fed up. As expected, Biden's border crisis is racking up costs. But could this be on purpose? The skyrocketing numbers of illegal immigrants crossing the southern border haven't been seen for 20 years. According to reports, the U.S. encountered over 100,000 individuals attempting to cross the border in 1 month, February alone. Texas Governor Greg Abbott said in a statement, quote, "The Biden administration has been an abject failure when it comes to ensuring the safety of unaccompanied minors who cross our border. The conditions these minors face in federally run facilities is unacceptable and inhumane." Under Biden administration orders, Customs and Border Protection still won't allow media to access the overcrowded migrant facilities. I wonder why. But now, disturbing photos have emerged from behind the curtain, and Americans are finally seeing a little bit of what's going on. Now, some say this is all on purpose, that it's part of a plan to collapse the current systems, but who would want to overwhelm our country? The Cloward-Piven political strategy of calculated chaos was first conjured up in 1966 by two leftist Columbia University sociologists, Richard Cloward and Francis Fox Piven. The main goal was the creation of chaos, resulting in a political crisis, quote, that could lead to legislation for a guaranteed annual income and thus an end to poverty. So naturally, what follows is another government program of income redistribution, allegedly necessary to help the poor get out of poverty. Now, progressive President Lyndon B. Johnson presided over the Great Society in the 1960s, one of the biggest expansions of government programs in our history. And today, we have more poverty than ever. But the Cloward-Piven strategy to collapse America is not just about immigration and poverty. Here are some of the main goals of Democrat socialists and other radicals. Control health care, increase welfare and the national debt to an unsustainable level, take over public education, check, infiltrate churches and religious organizations, check, increase gun control, weaken self-defense laws, and create class warfare, dividing people into groups, and check. So does any of this sound familiar? It all seems to be coming together for those who hate America, doesn't it? COVID restrictions and suffocating lockdowns caused such an economic disaster, an entirely new dependency class was born. Add to that tens of millions of illegal immigrants, and the cost to taxpayers is rising dramatically. Now, maybe I'm skeptical, but this national damage appears to be self-imposed, doesn't it? The Democrat media and Biden progressives are avoiding the word crisis at the southern border because they know what we're seeing is a direct result of months of their 2020 Biden-Harris campaign promises to illegal immigrants and a result of their policies we're seeing now. None of this should be surprising. But what a difference an election and a new administration makes. Instead of building border walls, we're paying for detention centers. There's no crisis at the southern border. It's just a challenging situation. The Biden administration isn't putting kids in cages like Trump did. They're in temporary holding facilities with plenty of space. And what about the Rona virus? Americans traveling outside the U.S. are required to have a negative test before they're allowed back in the country. It's not happening at the southern border. The Biden administration is letting untested foreigners stream into the country in massive numbers. Hundreds have tested positive at the Texas border alone. The maddening thing is that they know how to solve these problems. Return to America first, Trump administration policies. But we know they won't. So the next solution is look to 2022 and start removing radicals from office. Vote them out and keep them out. In the meantime, friends, pray. Pray for this country because the threats to our freedoms, to capitalism, and to our preservation as a nation are very real, and we will never be the same again. God bless you and keep speaking the truth about things that matter. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Most of you know our show is being censored by big tech.
While this makes it harder to meet the cost of producing the show, that's part of it. It also demonstrates that we must be having tremendous success, or they wouldn't bother to try to shut us down.
If you like hearing truth and common sense with a love for freedom, please join the Patriot Club with a one-time $99 tax-deductible donation. And you'll get this sweet vessel of joy as part of a thank you for joining the Patriot Club.
Etched with the American flag and the words freedom never tasted so good.
All you have to do is visit patriotclub.us and become a Patriot member today.
That's patriotclub.us. Thank you and God bless.